Hello and welcome to an episode that deals with public relations for NGOs or public relations and NGO management. I'm Swati Singh, teaching as a guest lecturer at Delhi University and other colleges. I'm also working as a corporate trainer and a creative director of an ad agency. I have an experience of 12 years with media and 8 years in teaching at various North Indian universities. We would be today discussing public relations and NGO management. Objectives of the topic are to make the students understand the need of public relations for NGOs, importance of public relations for NGO management, objectives of public relations for NGO, functions of public relations for NGOs, understanding an NGO approach to solving community problems. An introduction. Previously, many NGO organizations functioned in a very traditional way and didn't take special assistance of public relations for attracting social attention, funds and financial assistance to the organization. The primitive functioning of NGO organizations were influenced by superstitions, beliefs, personal prejudice of managers looking after the working of the organization. The primitive NGO organization lacked professional touch. The net result of such unscientific NGO management was lack of adequate funds for conducting their welfare programs, non-development of organization, deviation from the goal, lack of proper infrastructure, and failure in arrangement of funds, etc. A non-governmental organization or an NGO is a private institution that is independent of government, although many NGOs, particularly in the global south, are funded by northern governments. At various places, the number of internationally operating NGOs at 40,000. Non-governmental organizations have become increasingly influential in world affairs. They often impact the social, economic, and political activities of communities and the country as a whole. NGOs address a host of issues, including, but not limited to women rights, environment protection, human right, economic development, political right, or health care. In the numerous countries, NGOs have led the way in democratization, in battling diseases and illnesses, in promoting and enforcing human rights, and in increasing standards of living. Range of NGO activities. In case of India, NGOs have an active role in the areas such as community health promotion and education contraception and intimacy education, general hygiene, waste disposal, water usage, vaccinations, youth counseling services, emerging health crisis, HIV/AIDS education and support, hepatitis B education, drug addiction recovery.
68.90% of Indian population is rural population. So the common awareness of sanitation and health is the utmost important thing that any NGO or the government should, prioritize. Making the rural people aware of basic sanitation and waste disposal and water usage, may it be groundwater or any water usage, these rural people should be made aware of these basic amenities. And the most important thing, today 80% of the youth is registered under drug addiction. So basic rules and the side effects of drugs and everything should be made aware to the rural people of India, so that they know that how can drug effect or can come up with adverse effects. And basically, health is wealth. So education for me is the panacea to cure all sorts of socio-economic diseases. So these people should be made aware, and we should educate them with the basic amenities, so that maybe in their particular household they can take care of their wastes in their families. Women can empower themselves and teach their children that how to get into a hygienic lifestyle and take proper care of their sanitation and everything. So I think promotion of health and promotion of healthcare and hygiene should be given most priority.
Community social problems: juvenile crimes, runaway girls, street children, prostitution, environmental, sustainable water and energy consumption, education, keeping mountains and forests alive, clean economic, micro enterprises and micro loans.
The word community, it has been derived from a French word meaning communitas, which means that the fellowship or the common and the gift of togetherness. So that means community is the very basic unit, social unit, which comprises of common values, same socio-geographical, not exactly social, but same geographical boundaries. And since India is comprising of approximately 70% of rural populace, so community in a rural area becomes of utmost importance. As we are already aware that the literacy levels in the rural communities are extremely dismal. So firstly, I would talk about the rampant illiteracy levels. Due to the illiteracy levels, there is high ignorance which is prevalent in the villages, specifically in the rural communities. So due to the ignorance, the parents are not able to guide their children because they are not aware of the values and the required values which should be inculcated in the children. So consequently, the children go astray and they indulge in crimes, which resulting in theft or maybe petty thieves, which might make the children, professional criminals or something like that.
Third, skill training: computers, technicians, training, catering services, clothing and textile, etc. Fourth, product promotion and distribution. Fifth, cooperative creation. Financial consulting, career services and job search assistance such as school construction, infrastructure construction, cultural center construction and operation, agriculture and aquaculture expert assistance. Women issues: Women and Children Rights, Battered Women Assistance Center, Group Therapy for Sexually Abused Women.
The issue of women. The women discrimination is highly rampant and ubiquitous in rural communities, because when a woman is married to another household, her voice is silenced because she is not having any economic independence or any capability to have that, to achieve that economic independence. So I personally feel that ICT, information and communication technology, can be used to find solutions to these problems. And these were, of course, just a handful of problems and issues, but there are a lot of issues which have shrouded the rural communities today. So information and communication technology can be used to take them out and to resolve these issues. For example, Radio Sangham, which is being operated in Medak district of Andhra Pradesh today. It is entirely managed by Dalit women, and when they are not broadcasting, they are working as farm laborers beside their husbands. So I personally feel ICT, if used and harnessed properly, it can achieve some drastic results which will consequently lead to positive behavioral change and ultimately the improvement of the rural communities.
In a country like India, where 50% of population constitutes women, we are still struggling to give them the basic necessities. We are still struggling for making them recognized in our own country. health, education, conducive working environment are the three basic things that I can list down to tell that these are the things that women are not availing. No matter, our government is still making a lot of policies, a plethora of policies has been formulated by our government to aid the women and related issues, to uplift them, but due to the improper implementation and corruption, the benefit of these policies does not reach them. So in that case, NGOs play a very important role. Now you may ask me why? Because these NGOs basically fill in the gap. What gap? The gap of policy formation and the gap between the policy implementation.
The need for public relations for NGOs in the present age, the human society has become so complicated and differentiated that individuals, at least in the developed countries, are no longer able to live without adequate information and communication. It is a fact that in this increasingly automated world, man can no longer exist in complete isolation. The need for public relation arises due to these three fundamental factors. Communication. To be the means of communication have reached to almost a stage of perfection. It is possible to receive information at any given period of time. Though the adequate information is theoretical, but no means it is guaranteed in each individual case, so public relations is needed. New information order. It is very difficult to answer whether we are correctly informed. There are various sources like countless lectures, books, many discussions in radio and television. But we cannot guarantee the correctness of the information. The information is without direction and it is incomplete or inaccurate. Information must be prepared essential. Information must be separated from the real matter. The interest of the receiver must be aroused in the right direction. Here, there is a need for public relations. Mutuality and understanding. Mutuality is based on interaction between consideration for public opinion and the need of communicator to inform and establish contact. Understanding is created by providing insight into a reporting on all necessary matters. Confidence is cultivated by bringing the aim of the organization into the harmony with public interest. In these ways, the goodwill of the company is won among the general public. The objectives of public relations with respect to NGO are to promote mutual understanding, to persuade individuals, groups, etc., help in fundraising, change the behavior and attitude of the public, influence people, to win friends, avoid risk involved in misunderstanding, prepare and supply the public with information about the organizations like price quality, export employment and other special features, provide information about the activities of the company to the press and writers, liaise, counsel and advise, improve internal staff relations, help the public to love life and work for better or for worse without conditions, undertake a public relation education program, forestall attack by the competitors or opponents, create and maintain image and reputation of the company, promote goodwill, correct misconceptions and clarify on criticism of its policies and practices, establish relations with the federal and state legislature agencies, undertake a campaign of public education about an industry or profession and its contribution to the public, communicate with the employees on their benefits, accident prevention, labor relation and collective bargaining, to establish press relation, publicity, article preparation, press release, photographs, undertake programs like sales training courses for retailers, wholesalers, sponsor dealer and distributor relation schemes, ascertain public opinion, conduct opinion research and understand public attitude on the organization, profession and practice.
The objective of PR, that is public relation and NGO management, there are different objectives basically. First is to cater the need of the community people, And for that, forms of different public relations, that is interpersonal communication, mass communication, plays an important role. If we consider the management perspective in NGO, yes, the NGO people and the development practitioners who are involved in NGOs have to cater the needs and have to identify the gaps which are being used or which are there in the community itself. So considering, if we talk about that, yes, NGO management and public relation, yes, definitely they go hand in hand, because through public relation only participation plays an important role, and through participation it can lead to a catalyst for social change.
Scope of public relations. There has been misconceived opinion about the scope or field of public relations activities. In lectures and articles published, one is apt to gain the impression that public relations concern industry and commerce only. In such an instance, it can only be said that one tends to overlook the fact that public relations, particularly in this decade, has entered all sectors of public life, not excluding religion, and that is how has a virtually unlimited field of application. These given examples demonstrate the wide field of public relations activity in industry and commerce. In our market economy, there are information gaps which cannot be filled by the interaction of supply and demand via prices, costs, or wages. This is when public relations activity steps in. It provides information on planning, technical, and organizational developments, inventions, and their potential utilization, or it issues at regular intervals company reports which provide a deeper insight into the structure of the corporation than the public can otherwise obtain. The relation activity is becoming increasingly necessary for the procurement of economically essential production factors. It makes it easier for corporations to tap the money market or to finance their projects by issuing bonds or shares. It can also help them to find new personnel when necessary, and thus level out personnel fluctuation without reducing the desired working mobility. Finally, it is easier for a corporation to acquire land from a community if the corporation cultivates public relations and endeavors to bring its own interests in harmony with those of the community. Public relations activity may support marketing. In its various forms, it may contribute decisively to successful, frictionless business activity. The principles of reciprocity underlying public relations is for the corporation an incentive to improve performance because it helps the corporation to overcome a difficult situation. Today, the public relations profession has entered even into the field of hospitality, tourism, institutes in education, and to a variety of other professions. In terms of NGO management, public relations helps raising funds, creates understanding between the corporate and community and the cause. Public relations also manages communication gaps, also exhibiting and publicizing the causes with the help of events, etc. is done by public relations every now and then. The importance of public relation in NGO management. It's now accepted worldwide. Non-governmental organizations need healthy relationship with the public to meet their goal. Foundations and charities use sophisticated public relation campaigns to raise funds and employ standard lobbying techniques with governments. Interest groups may be of political importance because of their ability to influence social and political outcomes. At times, NGOs seek to mobilize public support. Public relations professionals therefore use various strategies to conjure funds and to create awareness about the organization's aims and objectives. Concept of NGO. Functions of public relations in NGO management. The functions of public relation department differ in different NGO organizations depending upon their nature and activities. However, there are certain standard functions which are common to most of the organizations. They are policy, A policy is a statement or guidelines to be followed in the company. Public relation policy is required for every organization. It has to develop and recommend corporate public relation policies and has contribute to public relations viewpoint which help in the formulation of decision. Its function is not only to provide the policy to the top management but also to the other sections and divisions. Publicity. In order to interact with the public, it is necessary to have corporate publicity. The department has to undertake the issuance of announcements of corporate activities to the external communication media. It also has to handle inquiries from the press. It is one of the important functions of the department to develop and place promotional publicity about the organization as a whole or any of its units. Relation with government. It is necessary to maintain healthy relationship with government policies as it helps in conjuring funds in form of government grants and donations, etc. Community relations. Community contacts should be well planned and coordinated. Activity such as environmental protection standards, equal employment opportunity and cooperating in urban improvement program should be undertaken. Shareholder relations. In order to attract public money, it is necessary and important to maintain good relations with corporate stakeholders. This can be done in the form of communication between the company and the shareholders, including the investors. The company can be made more acceptable among the investors by broadening the exposure of the company policies and financial results in the investment community. These include preparation of annual reports, etc. It has also to plan and stage the annual meetings of the shareholders.
The stakeholders in NGOs, they have to cater the need of the common man in community. If we consider the objectives, for example, for NGOs, the objective should be designed in order to cater the problems of the community people. And designing the communication strategy through public relations and through different forms of communication plays an important role. I think, according to me, if we say that public relation and NGO management, they go hand in hand, truly yes, because if public relation is not there, so we cannot interact with the communities through different forms, that is interpersonal communication and mass communication.
Product publicity. The Public Relation Department has to develop and execute the promotional product publicity campaigns in case of NGO organization. They promote their product as the cause for which the NGO is operating. For example, welfare, child welfare, nature and health, awareness, AIDS, awareness, etc. In these publicity, the focus is on the cause and how to popularize them. It includes announcement of new causes or products through the editorial channels of communication media. Employee publications. The Public Relation Department has to prepare a corporate donation policy for the company contributions. Various aspects involved in this function include processing, request for donation, administering company foundation, etc. Promotion program. The Public Relation Program broadly covers institutional promotion programs designed to build corporate acceptance of key policy, special events, public relation literature, and institutional advertising. Other functions include Public Relations Educational Program, advisory functions, co-coordinating activities, conveying and interpretations. An NGO approach to solving community problems with the help of public relations. When an NGO approaches solving a problem, they can pursue the structure, which is gather information on the issue. What exactly is the problem? The cause of the problem? Who are the responsible persons to get a particular department of the organization industry? What are the consequences going to be? Assess magnitude, quality and prevalence. What are the alternatives possible or solutions? How much would they cost? It is better to invest the money in other projects. Talk to the people in the community to hear different views that will enable a holistic view on the issue. Talk to the people who are in charge and hear their side of the issue. Tell them about the problem that you see. You may be able to work towards solving problem together if you do not see it yourself as hostile parties. Connect with people to increase awareness. Ask older, influential or respected people in the community to address public gatherings. You can use the media, that is newspapers and internet, to generate interest, communicate the facts and discuss options. You can also write polite sonnet articles for magazines and newspapers identifying the issue, and include people from diverse backgrounds so that your organization is not linked with any particular political party or religious sect. For fundraising purposes, let people know why funds are needed and how they will be utilized. Transparent and detailed accounts are imperative to build trust. Link up with other NGOs to maximize the effect of the effort. And now it's time for a quick recap. NGO management by public relations is a rather important function, especially because NGOs depend upon public relations to guide and help. NGOs generate funds for various activities. Also, community services and social responsibility is an inherent function of public relations. Therefore, the relationship between public relations and NGO is natural and significant. Public relations handle media relations and create events to publicize activities carried out by the NGOs. Also, public relations works towards solving community problems by the means of dialogue, research and deliberation. By far, public relations poses as a fuel of life for NGO activities for today, tomorrow and forever. This is all what we have for you today. We hope you enjoyed this session. See you again. Till then, thank you and namaskar.